Hey guys, what's up? And today I'm going to be replacing the stock grip on the Ceda with a 3D printed version that I just finished up. So fair warning, I am selling these, so if that sort of thing annoys you, this really isn't the video for you. But I'm going to be posting this as sort of an accompanying video for my Etsy listing showing off how to install the part and some of the features. So if that's something that interests you, please continue to watch. So I have two versions of this grip listed. The first is just one with a single rail at the bottom. It has some designs along at the top that are meant to match the back portion of the Ceda. So as you can see here, the lines and the other angled designs sort of match up with those. They're scaled a little bit down to fit better on the grip portion, so they're not 100% matches, but it is sort of representative of the theme of the blaster. I'll go over installation a bit more in a second, but as you can see here, with this long section of picatinny rail, you can mount all sorts of alternative grips, like angled foregrips or anything that's designed to fit with the caliburn. So this should be compatible with any of those systems for both real steel and existing Nerf blasters like the caliburn. I chose to go with this design because then you could pick whatever your favorite sort of grip is and still use it with the Ceda, as opposed to just designing one grip that may work for some people with bigger hands or smaller hands or whatnot. So I figured I wouldn't worry about that, and I'd just do a rail and then allow you to pick whatever your favorite grip is. Then for those of you who are super into the whole tactical look, I added a second version with two side rails. So there's the main rail on the bottom as with the other one, and then there's these two smaller rails, one on each side, as you can see here. And for that, you can mount all sorts of other stuff. But if you're mounting flashlights or laser pointers or things like that, I would definitely recommend checking with your game first, because some games ban this. And keep in mind, you don't want to be flashing that in people's eyes. So you want to take precaution when you're mounting stuff like this to your blaster. At the time of recording this video, I have 5 color options available. I have red, blue, black, white, and orange. That may change in the future, so if you're watching this later after, just check the Etsy listing. So you could choose one color for the monolithic piece, and then if you're going with the side rail, you could choose the 2 colors if you want a different color side rail. The easiest way I found to install these is to pull out these 2 larger screws that hold the pump it grip into the bolt sled via that metal arm. So you're going to remove that off of both sides of the blaster, then this whole piece just slides right off. Next step, we're going to take a Phillips head screwdriver and just unscrew the bolt arms from the pump grip via these little Phillips head screws. For this piece, we only need the bolt arms here. The other screws and the stock grip we can store somewhere else or get rid of if we don't want them. So now in the package, you should have the grip and some screws that I included. I went with a hex head screw because I was afraid of the lower quality screws on the Ceda stripping over time if you're going to replace it. Also, the black matches with the black anodized pieces that come with the Ceda S, so it looks a bit better in my opinion. For these metric screws, you're going to need a 2.5mm Allen key. From there, we're going to simply install our bolt arms. We're going to be taking the 2 screws, putting them in the hole. They should just slide right in, and then we can line it up and screw it into the bolt arms, and it should be pretty good to go. Once those are nice and snug, we can do the other side. Now, the screws won't stick out past the arm itself, so it won't scratch up the blaster, which is nice if you're going to paint it. I guess also technically you can install this without removing the arms from the blaster, but I've just found it's easier to pull the whole thing out and put them on like this. It makes aligning these screws just a tad bit easier, but like I said, you don't really have to. Once both of your arms are on, you can just take it, line it up, slide it back in. You're going to have to align that hole, and then you can just put the screws back in that hold the arms into the bolt sled. From there, you can put on the picatinny grip of your choice. For this example, I'm going to be using the one from my Terminator that I painted with this sort of transparent blue, but once I decide to paint this blaster, I'll pick one that matches. I tried to include enough rail so you can get a little variation here, whether you want it to be a little more forward or a little more backwards, so you could sort of pick whatever is most comfortable for you. Once your grip is snug on, it should feel pretty solid on the blaster, and there shouldn't really be any wiggle. I'm going to give this blaster a quick firing demonstration. So So I actually had a double decap in that set, so the head of the one dart I think was stuck in the barrel, which was why I was making that weird sound. I'd like to push it a bit further, but I think I might need to switch to metal internals for that. So I'm going to try to keep it at a relatively fast but controlled rate of fire for this test. So that felt pretty solid in the hand and just a lot nicer for prime. Not that it could get much worse than the stock Ceda, because what happens is when you go to prime it, these little ridges don't really give you that much to grab onto, then your hand just slides right off, even at the stock spring load. So if you're looking to upgrade past the stock, I would definitely recommend, it doesn't even have to be mine, but I would just say you can get a replacement grip and it'll make your life a lot better. So as mentioned, if you're interested in picking one of these up, I'll have the links to my Etsy shop down in the description below. I think now that I have a much more comfortable grip for the Ceda, I can plan out the rest of the mod, pick out a paint job, some internals, and this will be back in another video. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in another video.